Today, it's Madden NFL football. This is Madden football on EA Sports. As we'll see Mac Jones and the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
On the banks of the St. Johns River, there's a good look inside Everbank Stadium here in downtown Jacksonville. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And off we go from Jacksonville. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there are many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay.
And right away, he lost the football. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And it's now a 7-0 game. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Now Jones. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Tershawn Wharton. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Was certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. On play action, it's Mahomes. That is caught downfield. It's Worthy. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Throwing now is Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now 2nd and 5. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And again, it's Mahomes. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Call it a loss loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
Found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They're going to look to throw. He'll get this out to his running back, Pirine. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Off the play fake. Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
49-yard punt, 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go.
They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Setting up the screen to Pirine.
Room past the 35.
And finally brought down at the 43. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's why you call a screen. You want to catch a defense overcommitting. Plenty of space available, and that matched up perfectly. What a convoy he got downfield to pick up big yardage on that play.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Mahomes going to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Now a 2nd and 10. Pacheco gets it up the gut.
Broken tackle. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw.
Oh, he brings it in off the deflection.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
All right, you and I both know that was a lucky play. But again, I give him credit. Going up on the tip and catching that one.
Stayed with it. Made his own luck, didn't he?
And he used his size there. Had a defensive back mentality to go up and get the ball on the tip. But used his size. I mean, tight ends, going up and getting it, sometimes they can knock people out of the way and finish the play.
Well, here's Matt Ariza now.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones, and Thomas has it. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jones.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw again.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 37. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 37-yard line.
ETN up the middle.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 5.
Off play action, Jones.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Chiefs are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Before we came up to the booth, Last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Mahomes now to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Now Mahomes.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left.
Now here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Pacheco.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Again, it's Pacheco. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They go play fake. Mahomes.
Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco.
And it's a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Able to hang on to the ball this time, and in the process picks up the first down.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Over the middle here to Brown. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He finds Pirine out of the backfield.
And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Chiefs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spans 13 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Straight ahead, ETN.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Another tote for ETN.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3.
Back to throw. Jones.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones. That is caught. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Duvernay in motion. Back to the ground with ETN.
Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Jones.
A short throw there to Strange.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Jones now on 1st and 10.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Looking to throw. Jones.
Screenplay. Here's ETN.
Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the 16, Jones.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw again.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Devin Duvernay.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jaguars get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, a full half to be played. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel.
Mahomes now on 1st down.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Second down and 3.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have the Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes.
That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We got a strong first half out of the running back, Isaiah Pacheco. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Pirine. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Mahomes firing complete. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On 1st down, they go back to Pacheco. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. That's caught left side by the tight end, Gray. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He'll look to throw. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
We can see offensive pass interference called on this play from time to time. The tight end's going to sell that he's going outside. Let the slot receiver come past, and then work himself back to the inside. Sure enough, he's left with some open space, and he picks up the first down.
Now it's Mahomes again. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game.
And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now 21-7. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 29, Jones. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
It was Leo Chanel who got in to drop him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick 6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And now out come the Jags.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for them so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got an open man. It's Washington.
And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one. Boy, so what else could go wrong for him here? It's an illegal touching penalty on the outside.
Yeah, Brandon, that really wasn't a very disciplined play, was it? Because you got to know where you are on the field. You can't get that close to the sideline because if you step out of bounds, you can't be the first to re-enter and touch it. That's an easy call for the officials.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watched the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Hits his running back, Pirine. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
They'll look to throw here.
They'll set up the screen to Pacheco.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
A run by Pacheco on 2nd down.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11.
He'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt, and he missed it. It's no good, and the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville.
Throwing Jones.
He'll drop that underneath to ETN.
Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
2nd and 12.
Back to throw. Jones.
ETN bringing in another one.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game.
Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, Pirine. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
First down, they go back to Pirine.
And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now here's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Tershawn Wharton, the one to get him to the ground on the defensive side.
This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
Now Jones on first down. And he'll get it right back to Washington. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Second and 11 now.
They'll look to throw again, and Thomas has it. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation. Give me a fresh ball.
Touchdown!
Devin Duvernay
With his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jaguars are able to cut into that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
And now here comes Kansas City.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
They'll hand it to Pirine.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Mahomes complete to his tight end. It's Kelsey. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll get this down to the 40.
9 yards that time.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They run it with Pirine on first down. He'll get this down to the 38.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll run again with Pirine.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Chiefs first down. And that's the one that should seal the victory.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.